like we have a quorum, so I'd like to call to order the McHenry County Community Development and Housing Grants Commission. Can I get a roll call, please?
Adamson.
Present.
Drafcorn.
Here.
Grammer.
Here.
Hausman.
Here.
Lamorte. Moore. Pietrorosa. Reining.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Von Bergen.
Here. Thank you. Could I get a motion from minutes approval from last meeting?
We don't have any yet.
We don't have any, do we?
No
All right.
minutes.
They are completed. They'll be attached in our next meeting.
Okay.
We'll have both of these
All
to
right.
approve.
Gotcha. Okay. Do we have any public comments? All right, seeing none, we will move along. I'm not sure if this is old business or new business, but
Yeah, I just had to ask Tracy for an update on where we're at with our staff situation, knowing that Hans is separated from the commission at this point. Can you give us that, or do we need to talk to Adam? Well,
Yeah, I can give you an update, absolutely.
Okay.
So our current team members are myself, Eric, Bianca, who works with the Senior Services Program, and then still Joe, who is our remote employee in Chicago right now, who oversees the Homeless Information and Management System, HMIS. And working now closer with the COC, he's kind of taken my previous role of working with our homelessness programs, and I'm kind of moving more into what Faith was doing prior. Kind of acting also as the interim Hans-esque while we're still looking for another administrator. And then we also are hiring a new person that's coming back who had worked prior with the health department for about 16 or so years. She's gonna come in starting Monday to work with our Lead and Safe Healthy Homes program. So that'll be a good addition to the team as well. And so currently we're a little bit less, but still everything is running smoothly and we have the appropriate players in play right now. Still looking for an administrator eventually too.
Okay, well, thank you. I just wasn't sure who we would contact, or we're looking for some information or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that worked for the health department before that's going to be joining the staff, what's her name?
Connie, I'm forgetting her last name
Okay,
right now,
no problem.
but we're really excited for that because we really want to kind of have her breathe a little bit more life into the Lead and Healthy Homes program. So we really thought it was a perfect match coming from the health department. So that'll be good expertise that we can lean on for her too, and to kind of reinvigorate the program also.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
I'll just add that Brandon has done an excellent job at keeping us moving forward and organized, and so we're looking at, that'll be in the discussion a little bit later, so thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon. Okay, so we'll move along to discussion and direction.
And kind of following Larry's comment with our absences, this is really kind of just an update slash direction meeting essentially for myself, just to make sure that I'm hearing everything that you guys would want prior from last deliberation meetings, anything that could have been handled better or easier with the application packet, just making it kind of a clearer process to make it more helpful. And so 6.1, really providing a clear synopsis sheet. So that'll be the first item in your packets, this one right here. And so this is kind of my brief, just pouring a little bit of what I thought would be helpful. I was thinking we'll still do the binders or have the packets out for all the applications, but I thought prior to getting into the nitty-gritty of the applications, we'd have, depending on how many projects, one for each project of this. Notes at the bottom so everybody can kind of write questions along the way or anything. That's just a good space, I thought, to house that. But then at the top, it'll have the agency name, if they're building any units for like home or CDBG or whatever kind of the project type will be, they'll have that kind of pertinent information at the top. So you can kind of quickly see what the bang for your buck, so to speak, would be, how many people are being assisted or helped, what the request is, and then kind of a quick 3 to 4 sentence synopsis of the project.
I like that a lot.
I think it'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Something that I think will be very
Yeah.
helpful during the
We used to do
hearings.
something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to see that.
I can't remember.
The only thing I'd say about your example, Brandon, is that maybe just a little bit more.
Sure.
You know, the price range of the units, single family, multifamily, how much the person asking for money, what's their contribution, you know, just, if they're asking for 500, are they kicking in 50 or $5?
Gotcha, so include the match too, for sure.
Yeah, the match, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, that could be noted, like right next to the request.
Yeah, right.
So this is in addition to what we've been getting.
Correct, and you'll still
We get the
get,
big picture, this is just like a snapshot.
that's what I thought, yeah.
Okay.
And then, like I said, if you have any kind of nitty-gritty questions or you wanna look at the application for more kind of whatever the application wants to say or the applicant wants to say on the project, that'll all still be included right after this. It'll just kind of be a quick synopsis, so if, you know, while they're talking or anything and you don't wanna flip through the entire application, you can kind of get a clear picture of what the request will be. And then, of course, the Excel sheet with the funding requests, and then we'll kind of collect them all, do the mean or the average of what all the commissioners were thinking for the requests, and then dole out the allocations as usual.
And most of the people we see, we've seen before.
Correct.
But if it was somebody new, maybe a little synopsis of what they do,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
capital improvement.
Yeah,
Okay.
usually we get about 20 or so projects, so I thought it would kind of be an easier way to kind of process everybody that's coming in for requests.
Do you guys want to see like a one project per page or,
Before when we did it, it was, yeah, the paragraph was like, there'd be 3 of them on one page.
yeah,
Mm,
just to save on paper?
I think maybe
and-
2 on a page.
Sure.
If we want to write things
Yeah,
down, that'd give us a little more room to write, you know?
yeah,
As far as, you know, because, you know, we'll ask, you know, if there's, you know, too much, I go, like if someone's improving a project, can you just do the windows this year? Can you just do the doors this year? You know, and write down what each one, you know, would cost. You know, so when we deliberate, we can kind of look back at that. That's how I work.
yeah. So you've done it before. I like that idea.
Yeah. Takes a while to
Would
figure out a
you-
way to do it.
Prefer to have it be like these back to back to back and then all the applications follow, or like one of these application, another one?
I would like this with the application.
Perfect, okay.
Well, the applications we get
Mm-hmm,
by email,
Yeah,
so
but
we don't get a packet anymore.
right.
Right.
So actually, just a bunch of these, I guess. What do you think? We don't really get the whole thing anymore. We get it,
But
you
you
know,
would
we see
email
it
this
passed.
to us also, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I would say this on paper, the rest would be emailed to us. And I don't know if any of you printed, I just bring my iPad.
Yeah, so you want a hard.
Yeah, hard copy, this so we can write on it.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
That's my thought.
perfect. And I'll put it on the back too, so 1, 2, and then
Yeah.
3, 4.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Great.
Will you include that with the, when you send the packet out though too?
Yeah, I'll have all of these
Yeah,
done
that'd be
by that
good.
time, so
Yeah.
that there's not too many emails flying around.
Okay. That I do print it out.
Oh, you do print it out?
Yeah, I just,
Oh, Larry.
I'm ruining the trees.
And that's why I wanted to check. I know some people on the Senior Services Commission does the same.
Do the same thing? Yeah.
You know, I get computer eye and I can just, if I can put it on a piece of paper, for some reason it sinks in better. I don't know.
well, that's kind of why I felt like if we had a hard copy of, you know, something like this.
Well, if I get the email, I'll print it out and I'll have a hard copy. That's what I would do myself.
Yeah.
Because I usually go through these things as soon as not as soon as I get them, but pretty close. I start on them because it takes, you know, if we get 20 of them, it takes some time.
Yeah, it takes a while to look through them.
I don't have time to sit down and do them all at once.
Right.
And then I can take my notes and that's the way I do it. Everybody, you know, however you're comfortable doing it.
Or maybe like if this is like for the CDBG, and when we have to have a certain percentage for service, and maybe say what this falls under. Is this
That's a
infrastructure? Is
project
this?
type.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good too, I
was-
think.
That was one thing Brandon and I did talk about and any limitations.
Yeah,
based
yeah, I
on-
think that'd be good even
Yeah,
on here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I mean,
so the next item is basically just a discussion on when there are changes to the scope of a project. if something comes up during an applicant's work, we'll just say, and something needs to be done more than other, you know, what do we want to see to come back to get either reapproved or not?
Changes in the scope of project, or like if they're all of a
We
sudden?
currently
Like
have a
spending more.
project where, that the applicant, I believe, had applied for, let's say like a roof, and now at one of their group homes, and now they want to do a septic system as a more urgent need at a different group home facility. Would you like me to bring the applicant in and have that discussion on a change of scope, or would that be something
Is
that?
it because the
would be
roof didn't
okay?
cost as much?
They identified it as being a more of an urgent need than
Oh.
the roof.
Like,
And this is just an example.
okay, but, so it's not like the roof only cost, you know, this much, and now they have extra money they can spend on
Mhm.
something else?
It'd still be the same amount, correct?
Oh, but
of
now
funding.
the septic is failing and
Mhm.
the roof is still good for another year.
So in a case like that, I think what I would like to see was what the commission originally approved,
Mhm.
and then what they want to change it to.
Okay, and is that okay through email? I just don't wanna have to call like a special meeting and get you
Email would
guys.
be, okay.
Perfect, okay.
Yeah, but you can't just, I agree, we gotta have something to say.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I could see it being taken advantage of, where somebody's gonna show this great need for this, and all of a sudden switch their money to another project that their little pet project over here,
Yeah,
and that would concern me. Set a bad precedent too.
Mhm.
Right,
So,
right.
And with reply all, we can know each other's thoughts.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then I probably, depends on the amount of money too.
Mhm.
15 grand and you're switching a little bit,
Yeah.
Right.
50 grand,
Yeah.
it's a little different too.
Okay, then I can definitely do it through email, that'll be appropriate.
Yeah, I don't, has this ever happened before?
We've had change of scopes before. I wouldn't say as big as the example that I just provided. Usually it'll be like one location, maybe they swap it to a different one.
Oh, okay.
Like it'll still be a roof, but just at a different
Yeah,
location.
okay.
And that one, I believe we've handled internally before, but without Hans to kind of say, is this something I should bring to the commission or not? I just wanted kind of a
Yeah.
clear path just to keep you guys well informed, and I think also it provides a good standard for, you know, the applicants too, to know that that's, you know, if you're presenting like what Larry said on one thing that, and you're approved for that, that should be the project. I'm okay with flexibility, of course, but I don't want it to be a total shift, and then.
We certainly shouldn't encourage it.
Yeah.
Awesome, I'll definitely do that through email then, perfect.
Okay. So now we're at CDBG and home updates.
And then this will be the second page in your packets. Just kind of a quick wrap, I thought it was nice. A couple of discussions have come up about CDBG and home allocations and what we've been awarded throughout the years. So I kind of just went back to 2018 and then all the way to my estimated for 2025. This is where we've all landed each year from our allocations from Congress. And so I'm anticipating that after kind of our elections and everything go through, that in 2025, we might be bumped back up to that 1.4 amount that we were usually seeing from 2018 to 2021. And then same with home, getting back up to that 600 or even 700 where we were prior. Definitely 2024 was a big cut that you'll notice from 2023 even. And that's kind of represented on the graph. You see it, we kind of dip down. But that's just where I'm anticipating. I released the notices of funding this year on last Tuesday, the 15th, and then they're open until January the 17th. And so our office will definitely correspond with any of the applicants' requests on getting to know what their application is, eligibility, things like that. We'll be able to help them throughout that. And then we have 2 public meetings, I believe, on the 4th, and actually double check real quick. We usually have all the applicants or anybody interested coming into the office and talking about CDBG, what the eligibility is. And we have a couple of different things that we're gonna be exploring this year. We have 2 public meetings and those will be on November 4th at 10 a.m. and then November 18th at 1 p.m. And everything's available for everybody online at the community development website, which will huge help. And then just applying through Neighborly as usual, which will be great, so.
When you when do we usually hear about these allocations?
Usually they come through late summer. We kind of get our final
Oh,
numbers
really?
and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we'll be anticipating kind of depending on when, sometimes early summer, it depends. It's really kind of wherever Congress is at and kind of if we're in a voting year or an election year, I should say. Unfortunately, CDBG seems, or fortunately, I should say, CDBG doesn't take as much of a cut. I'm surprised that home has been cut so much, especially with the nation needing so many affordable housing units and really needing the housing. I know CDBG can kind of help assist with some things that are similar to home, but really home is our building grant, our affordable housing grant. And so I'm hoping that come 2025 that whatever administration takes office and whatever Congress looks like, that both of the fundings will go up. CDBG is a pretty bipartisan agreement, so usually we do pretty well. There's not big cuts in CDBG. Home can go either way.
So when are we meeting for this? Is it March or February?
Yeah, actually that goes right into 6.4.
okay.
No,
I got a
perfect.
question about 6.3 yet.
Sure.
Okay.
Because you mentioned the requirements for these different programs.
Mhm.
And Hans was pretty up on all that kind of stuff. And are you up on that enough, or do you feel confident doing, or do you have some type of resource, somebody you can go to? I mean, otherwise you were going through it, I would presume, and holler at Hans in the other rooms, says, can we do this or can we not, kind of thing.
Right.
So
No, we've
that's a
done-
lot on your shoulders all of a sudden. That's,
Yeah, I appreciate it. Absolutely, I have taken advanced CDBG and home courses. So the office and my team is very familiar with the two grants, which is great. Our field rep knows kind of our circumstances right now and has made himself more available to myself and the team if we have any questions in between. And it sounds like we're getting some decent applications in already for the administrator role, which sounds like maybe interviews will be starting next month, fingers crossed for a couple. So that'll be good too. It's unfortunate that community development-esque is kind of a niche, I guess, area or sector. So really it'll probably be training for that person also that's coming in. Would be awesome to have somebody that has overseen grants prior or been involved in some sort of extent with CDBG or home or any of the grants. We'll see kind of who applies and what we get, but at least our team is very knowledgeable on these two. These are our bread and butter grants. So we're prepared to kind of assist and help out with whatever knowledge that person might come in with.
okay, sounds good. If you run into troubles and need other resources, I know of a couple people that are in it in other states that are, did Hans's job essentially in other areas.
I appreciate that, yeah. I'll definitely let you know if we need to tap a shoulder.
Okay.
I appreciate that, Larry, thank you.
Okay, great. Then I guess we will move on to 6.4. I know there have been discussions in the past where there's a few people that would like to see some afternoon meetings. So what are everybody's thoughts on time?
Well, a meeting like this could be, if this is a short meeting, I mean, afternoon meetings, are they gonna run 2 or 3 hours like sometimes our morning meetings do? You know, I'd rather be here in the morning if it's gonna be an extended meeting.
I would say our longest meetings are the March and May meetings, because usually in March or sometimes April, I think, that's usually been the CDBG
Yeah.
allocations, and then we wait kind of a little bit to give everybody a little bit of time to process and then go right into home in May. So those are usually our two longest.
Right.
And then it seems like we canceled summer this time, which is why we're meeting now. And so usually either the late summer or kind of fall meetings are very quick, kind of
Yeah.
just update meetings, so.
I would prefer afternoon as much as we can, because I have to use vacation days for, so I'm losing a whole day for an hour meeting,
Right.
pay, so, I mean, it just makes it easier for me.
Yeah, that's a tough deal.
And I think, I start work early in the morning, so I can still get in a full day and still make the meeting, so it would be a little easier for me. I mean, I don't mind, taking the days off, but I don't want to put all my vacation times towards coming to these meetings, which are very important to me, but.
Yeah, no, I understand,
Yeah, but I understand the long meetings too, coming in the morning. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
that's,
try to truncate maybe if you guys are open to having like the 2 days for CDBG maybe if we need to. And having it be like a 2-hour maybe meeting or 2.5 hour. I know the later one will be longer because that'll be the deliberation one, but we can kind of try to.
Oh, so it would
massage
be like, instead of the 1 day long day,
Mhm.
take it for 2 days.
Yeah, we could do that, maybe do some of the presentations and have it kind of be a 2-3 hour span. And then the very next day, maybe only have like an hour or an hour and a half worth of presentations. And then go right into deliberations on day 2, depending on how many applications we get.
I think we tried that once. and-
Yeah, I don't know if that'll work.
Everybody sort of wanted it all on the same day, so they were fresh on what this person said, it could
Mhm.
compare this to compare that. And instead of screwing up 2 days out of my week, it's only screwed up one.
It's a little easier.
You know, I was like, I
Yeah.
completely understand into your thought on the vacation days.
Mhm.
Personally, you know, I'm getting to be an old part, I do better in the mornings.
yeah, I do too, I
Yeah.
start working.
Yeah, I know, that's it. So, I mean, I'm flexible on some of those dates, but
But the long meetings, yeah, I completely, like.
Yeah. I think
you
we
know,
do the fall meetings in the afternoon, like, it's limiting typical like this, but I think the
Allocation.
way we do our allocation, I think
Yeah.
it seems to work pretty well right now.
And that one, yeah, I mean, those I don't have a problem, you know, just get it all done and get out of the way, you know, so.
yeah, when we switch that to 1 day and just get it,
Knock it out.
keep everything fresh in your head and
Yeah.
get it moving along, that was better than when we were splitting it up,
I
wasn't
like
it?
it better,
mean, that's-
yeah, I like it a lot better now, yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't we still at 2 days for the
Some of them.
CDBG? I guess
Mhm.
depending on.
Depending on
the-
how many-
Yeah, it depends how many, yeah.
And I can be very open, I'll let you guys know kind of the volume that we're seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And definitely alert you guys probably, and definitely at the end of January, I can send out an email saying this is how many we've received for both. And then
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of work out a schedule, maybe with Tracy before emailing everybody else.
So we're saying long meetings, we'd start in the morning, get it done, and then some of the other ones that are gonna be a little shorter, make them in the afternoon, like.
Yeah, that would.
That's fine with me.
For me, that would be.
Okay, and, you know, and what time would work for you? I know you've been to all the meetings lately, so it's,
Didn't we do one at like 2:30?
Mhm.
Yeah, that worked, because I work in Addison too, so.
Oh.
all right.
2:30?
Well, I'm just putting it out here for myself, I don't know what you other people think, but 2:30 for a short meeting, I can make that work too. Gives me time to get what I need to done before I come here.
Yeah, it's
Right.
It's just, sometimes when you're in the middle of the day, it sort of seems like it screws up the whole day.
Right.
I definitely have to put an alert on my
Right,
phone.
yeah.
I could
Wake Larry up from his nap.
But by the time noon hits, I go be going 3 different directions.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that gives us.
But I could work with that, sure.
Some good direction, yeah.
And we're okay with Wednesdays being kind of the one that I should look for?
It's
Okay,
I
good
think
with me,
Yeah, I think so.
especially good with me.
awesome.
Thursday, or hell.
Okay.
Well, I'll definitely I'll send out an email and let Tracy know the volume of applications that we receive once that January 17th is closed. And then I'll start working on what that looks like depending on the application load, March and May being March CDBG and then May for the home applications, or allocations, I'm sorry. And then any other additional meetings, late summer, fall, we could definitely move to the afternoon. Today, we're almost not even at 9 and we're already almost done with the agenda, so
Do we have dates for March and May?
not yet.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
those meetings, like the one we did last year, that was 2 days long, so it potentially could be a 1-day meeting.
Potentially, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I'll definitely have a clear picture of that
Okay.
after January 17th.
Okay.
And I can let everybody know well in advance what we're kind of volume of applications and where we're at.
What did we do last year? Like applications all 1 day and then next day was sort of short?
Usually the second day is shorter.
We had some more applications.
Yeah, we did have more,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we did deliberations.
Right.
We had a lot.
Depending on who comes in.
Yeah, that was, okay. Last year there was 20 or 21?
Yeah, it was quite high.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
Okay.
big group last year.
And I do want to note, I should have noted this a little earlier too, is that we do have our consolidated plan up, the 5-year plan. And we do have a staff member, Joe Davis, who is working on that plan right now with myself. And we're kind of looking at, hopefully I can say this, we had met and interviewed with Derek, who is the city administrator of McHenry. And he has great expertise, of course, and has connections to all the municipalities. And so I'm wanting to work closely with him to kind of create those relationships with the municipalities, whether we can align goals with their 5-year, 1-year plans, to kind of make a bigger bang for our buck for CDBG and home allocations, getting in maybe more developers for home, and then CDBG tying it into what the municipality interest may be, if we can complement or help out any of their projects that they have in the hopper.
All right. Do you have any member comments?
I guess just in terms of the meeting dates for next year, the sooner the better, to set those in the calendar helps me out
Yeah.
by then.
Would you rather throw any out now, or should I just kind of do it through email and send out a couple of Wednesday, March dates and May, March dates?
Well, we do have a couple members.
I
Not-
won't know, I'm
right,
one way or the
yeah.
other, so.
Yeah, how many are,
Yeah.
we have 3 not here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably email.
Email probably would be good.
Perfect.
Good.
Yes, it's not everyone's here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, well, seeing no other comments or miscellaneous business, then I guess we'll, for a motion to